A Trump official was asked a pretty straightforward question. Why are the white South African immigrants, the Dutch-descended Afrikaners?
On the David Pakman Show, David Pakman dives into a heated debate surrounding Trump's controversial refugee policy. A shocking question arises: why are white South African immigrants prioritized for refuge over others fleeing real danger? The implications are staggering, revealing deep-seated biases in our immigration system. Let's break this down together.
Why are they being prioritized as refugees, despite owning almost all the land in South Africa?
This statement exposes the hypocrisy in prioritizing individuals who are already privileged in their home country. It raises critical questions about equity and who truly deserves protection in the face of global crises.
Despite having an unemployment rate less than 1/3 that of black South Africans. Why is that group now being treated as refugees who need to be protected, when other groups like Afghans fleeing actual war and Taliban rule are being turned away, or Central American asylum seekers are being turned away? And the answer we got from the Deputy Secretary of State, who said one of the criteria is we want those coming here to be easily assimilated into our country. What does that mean? What is that code for? It's not about language. It's not about skills. It's about being white. That's what they're referring to.
This admission cuts to the core of systemic racism embedded in policy. The implication that whiteness equates to a better chance at refuge is both alarming and revealing of the biases that plague our immigration system.
Listen to this.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to know, there were many, from the BBC, there are many people who fit the criteria of seeking help, who are fleeing persecution. Afghans, for example, I mean, they live in a country run by the Taliban. But they're being denied refugee status. So I'm wondering, why has such an exception been made for the Afrikaners, especially when the South African government says they're not in danger? And are you going to open up the refugee settlement program for others?
Thank you for that question. I think you may recall that on the president's first day in office, on January 20th of this year, he issued an executive order that paused U.S. refugee programs that had been going at record levels under the prior administration and had brought in people that we were not sure had been carefully vetted for national security issues, and put a pause on the refugee admission program in general. That pause, of course, was subject from the very beginning to exceptions where it was determined that this would be in the interest of the United States. Some of the criteria are making sure that refugees did not pose any challenge to our national security and that they could be assimilated easily into our country.
Here lies the crux of the issue. This is not just about safety. It's about a racially charged narrative that excludes those who don't fit a specific mold. It's a stark reminder of the barriers faced by marginalized groups seeking refuge.
So the president on February 7th issued an executive order about the egregious conditions in South Africa.
Yeah. So you get the picture. You can see what this is really about.
In light of these revelations, it's clear that we must demand a fairer immigration policy that prioritizes humanitarian needs over racial biases. This discussion not only highlights the flaws within our system, but also calls for action and reform. What are your thoughts on this controversial topic? Let us know in the comments below.